All right, guys, I want to jump back into King Solomon, talk about the construction of his temple, what that means for us, and how we can apply these spiritual principles into our daily lives. This is a beautiful teaching. It's one of the few places in the Bible where the esoteric and the exoteric come together in perfect harmony. Now, if you're interested in learning what I even mean by all that, then rock with me a minute as we take that journey within. What up, though? It's Justin. Welcome back to the Mystical Mind State. Today I want to talk about the construction of Solomon's temple because it's happening in a multifaceted way. We see the physical construction of this building that happened in about 1000 BC, and then we see a spiritual aspect that urges us to construct the temple within ourselves, right? Rudolf Steiner says that the reason that the temple in the Book of Kings and the one that physically stands today don't match is because they are two different temples, but I don't think that's the case. The fact of the matter is this building has been built 3 times and destroyed 3 times by humankind, so of course it doesn't match. But he's on to something, because if you look at the people that actually built the temple, you will see that they approached the path in very different ways. Okay, so first of all, you have King Solomon, who had a relationship with Hiram, right? King Hiram. They shared lots of correspondence back and forth, and they had this brilliant relationship, right? King Solomon was considered the wisest king of his day, and everyone flocked to him looking for that wisdom that he had developed internally. So, King Hiram sends the master builder, the son of a widow, Hiram Abiff, to King Solomon to construct this temple. Now, they represent the two aspects of the path working together in perfect harmony. You have King Solomon, who learned Kabbalah from his father and learn to meditate and receive, Kabbalah being to receive that divine light within him, right? Create in me a sacred space. Watch the other 2 videos I made in this series and you'll understand what I mean by that. But you also have Hiram Abiff, right? Hiram Abiff took his wisdom, knowledge, and understanding and constructed. That means he put it into practice. He took the things that were within him and he projected them outwards, right? This is the exoteric and the esoteric coming together in perfect harmony. Esoteric coming from the Greek word esoterikos, right? Eso means within, and eis meaning into. So it means going within. That's what King Solomon did from his meditative state. Exo being outer, meaning that divine light is projected. That's what Hiram Abiff did. Now, Freemasons kept this tradition alive. This temple was built in a time of peace, and that divine presence dwelt within it. It was the light of the world, right? That's why the master of the lodge is called Vicaria Salomonis, right? He communicates that divine light from his chair of peace. Every Masonic temple is built the same. When you go into their inner sanctum, they have a direct replica of the inside of the temple as described in the Book of Kings. And in the center of that room is a chair. This is the chair of peace. What that actually means is Solomon lived in a time of peace and prosperity. While his father David had spent his entire life at war, Solomon knew peace. Solomon knew prosperity. So God dwelt within the house of Israel in a time of peace. So one represents the esoteric, going within to that place of peace, and the other represents sharing that peace with the world around them. They are archetypes that represent the two aspects of the path. What I mean by that is a person can study the Bible their entire lives, right? They can learn every intellectual facet of it, but unless they're allowing that divine light to come within them and transform them, what's the point? People in the esoteric tradition can go within and develop that divine light until they're blue in the face, but unless they're sharing it with the world, then what's the point? We need each of these disciplines if we are going to take the narrow way and walk a balanced and meaningful life. So, Solomon understood that the temple, that is the human being who receives into his soul the spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh, is us. Like Christ said, "Behold, the kingdom of heaven is within you." Solomon in Masonic lore is seen as a sort of archetype, the first one to share the divine light of God from within. And Hiram is seen as the archetype, the master builder who applied what he learned. When we look at the esoteric, it's actually really, really simple. Again, the heart has wisdom, the head knows not. So the heart is really the crux of the matter. We receive divine instruction into our hearts. So a really simple way to start this process is to go within your heart and meditate. What I mean is get in a meditative posture, right? And start constructing a sacred space within yourself. Will it look like a temple to you? Maybe, maybe not. Some people see meadows, some people see gardens, some people see really old cathedrals, some people see space. It doesn't really matter what it looks like to you. But when you start going within this space within your heart, you start meditating on the light. That's the only important aspect of this, is meditate on the light of God within you, that divine spark that exists within all of us. And you invite God into this place. Give your servant a listening heart. Ask God for wisdom from this place in your heart and meditate. Eventually, the spiritual understanding will start to flow through you in a way that I can't really describe, because like any understanding that I have could bog you down intellectually and really cut out the work that God will do within you. I'm only a human. It's not for me to decide what your path actually looks like. All I can do is point you in the direction. Then the other aspect of that is, once you've discovered this divine light within yourself, is you start sharing it with the world. You become a wise builder. You become a person that goes out and helps other people. These are the two aspects of the path. This is really mysticism at its core. Going within, finding the divine light, and then sharing that divine light with the world around you, so we can make the world a better place, so we can return to the Garden of Eden, right? So we can return to a place of tranquility and peace where God is flowing through us and all things, or at least be aware that God is flowing through us in all things. That's really it. There's not a lot to this. I don't want to bog you down with Bible verses and do some of what I did in the other two videos leading up to this, because, well, I did it in the last two videos. Construct the temple within yourself, seek God, ask God for wisdom, and then once you receive that wisdom, and you'll know, start sharing it with the world around you. That is esoteric and exoteric practice running together in perfect harmony. That's it, guys.